OSBC brings you the news. News across the country.
Good evening and welcome to the news across the country. OSBC Information Ministry reiterates commitment to projecting government image at all times. EFCC sells properties allegedly belonging to Yobe Auditor General. Fashion news focuses on evolution and significance of wristwatches. Hamistry bullets hit 2 in Ibadan. The Osun State Ministry of Information and Civic Orientation and its sister agency, Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, today appeared before the State Budget Committee to present proposed estimate for 2023, led by the State Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Mrs. Funke Gbemode. The two agencies presented estimates, plans, and projects for the coming year before the Budget Committee for ratification. Details are now presented from our studio.
Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Mrs. Funke Gbemode, who said the Ministry of Information and OSBC are obligated to continue to project the good image of government and let the people know what government is doing. Read out the plans of action for the coming year 2023. She explained that all members of staff at both the OSBC and the Ministry of Information will continue to work assiduously and with a renewed commitment to ensure that the vision and policy of the present administration are achieved. The media expert then thanked members of the State Budget Committee for their support all through the year in the quest to deliver on the mandate given to the Ministry of Information and Civic Orientation, as well as the Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, OSBC. The State Budget Committee, chaired by the Honorable Commissioner for Economic Planning, Budget and Development, Professor Olalekan Yunusa, commended the Ministry of Information and the OSBC for always projecting the good image of the state at all times. The committee assured of the support to the two agencies of government at all times to enable them achieve their mandates to the government and the people of the state. On the team of the two agencies were the Coordinating Director, Ministry of Information and Civic Orientation, Mrs. Bukola Aderibigbe, the Director General, OSBC, Mr. Rashid Folaromi, among other top echelons of both the Ministry of Information and OSBC.
Meanwhile, Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Bola Oyebamiji, has reiterated the commitment of the Adegboyega Oyetola's administration to repositioning the economy of the state, especially through agriculture and commerce, for the benefit of all. The Finance Commissioner said this while fielding questions from newsmen in his office. The Commissioner said the present administration is looking for all possibilities in the fields of commerce, agriculture, and other sectors to boost the state's economy, which in turn will provide jobs for unemployed youth. Mr. Oyebamiji said it is the commitment of all the Progressive Congress APC at both state and federal levels to empower small and middle-scale business owners, thereby getting the economy of the state adequately stimulated. The Commissioner therefore implored residents of the state to ensure prompt payment of their taxes and other levies as and when due, saying that it is the only way to support and assist government to provide the basic needs of the people. The National Peace Committee has invited presidential candidates, their parties, and spokespersons to sign a peace agreement ahead of the 2023 general elections to ensure that their campaigns are issued based and peaceful. The invitation was handed to the contestants, their parties, and spokesperson through a letter in Abuja. The letter indicated that the agreement will be the first cycle to be held on September 29 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Chairman of the committee, retired General Abdulsalam Abubakar, who signed the invitation letter, stated that the peace agreement will be signed twice before the general elections. Osun State Independent Electoral Commission (OSEC) has affirmed its readiness to conduct the October 15 local government election in accordance with the extant laws. Chairman of the occasion of the commission, Otumba Segun Ladito, disclosed this after the closing of a 5-day training program for electoral officers and assistant electoral officers drawn from all the local government areas. He charged participants to showcase experience garnered from the training in conducting a free, fair, and acceptable election. Adeyemi Aboderin has the details.
It was
Details will be brought to you later. In a bid to ensure that patients in the state health insurance scheme get value for money and are not shortchanged by the hospitals of their choice, the state government has created a forum to educate enrollees. The chairman state health insurance scheme, Honorable Adeoye Adelakun, stated this while fielding questions from the budget committee of the state during the bilateral meeting for the 2023 estimate of the state. The chairman explains that it has been discovered that some hospitals selected for the scheme are in the act of shortchanging patients who visit them to access health care services under the scheme. Honorable Adelakun said the state government has invested so much into the scheme and will not fold its arms and watch hospitals cheating the poor residents of the state who are enrollees under the scheme. Also speaking, the executive secretary of OIS, Dr. Gabriel Ogini, stressed that the state governor has done the needful in terms of providing necessary support for the scheme to enable enrollees benefit from affordable health care services. Citizens of the state of Osun have been admonished to take good care of government's properties in their respective domains. The project's management consultant, Ilesha Water Works engineer Tawa Kalitu Williams, gave the admonition today while commissioning the ultra-modern public toilets in 5 different locations in Ijeshaland. Bilaminu Adegoke was part of the entourage. His report is presented from our studios.
It was a new chapter for the people in Ijeshaland to see the manifestation of promises made by the government of the state of Osun on the continued provision of social amenities. Both old and young gathered to witness the commissioning of ultra-modern public toilets built by Project Implementation Unit under Ilesha Water Supply and Sanitation Project embarked upon by the State Water Corporation. Speaking at the commissioning, the project management consultant, Engineer Tawa Kalitu Williams, disclosed that Ilesha Water Supply and Sanitation Project is a tripartite partnership between the federal government of Nigeria, the state of Osun, and Islamic Development Bank, with a component aimed at providing sanitation facilities for Ilesha Township and its environs. Engineer Williams stressed that the project has put Ilesha Town as one of the foremost cities in Nigeria to implement national roadmap to make the country open defecation free by 2025.
We have to eradicate open defecation so that we can be healthy. When you are doing open defecation, you are polluting the underground water, you are polluting the stream and the river, and therefore the nation cannot be healthy. So if we now channel our waste to the right places, we will be more healthy and life expectancy will improve.
She added that over 68 modern toilets are ongoing in Ilesha and environs at public places, motor parks, marketplaces, and schools. Also speaking, officer in charge of water, sanitation, and hygiene, known as WASH, Sanitarian Odelola, called on the people of Ilesha and the beneficiaries of the project to see it as their own property and guard it jealously, stressing that health is wealth. In his royal message, the Onimo of Imoland, Obaolani Yagumbiade, commended the state governor of Osun for delivering dividends of democracy across the state. Oba Agumbiade therefore called on support of the people in maintaining the project to last long.
Challenging. Even most students of this college now, they are under the supervision of everybody. Don't urinate there. Go to the toilet. So that will also go a long way. Number Jadi. Some
of the beneficiaries, which include the Provost of College of Health Technology, Ilesha, Mr. Mobolaji Olaoye, medical personnel of General Hospital, Ilesha, Dr. Ajilo, and Chairman of Motor Parks, promised to ensure proper use of the toilets. The ultra-modern public toilets were located at African New Garage along Ilesha Oshogbo Road, Agurodo Motor Park along Ijebujesha Road, Odoiro Motor Park, General Hospital, and College of Health Technology, all in Nile.
The National Industrial Court has adjourned the suit filed by the federal government challenging the ongoing strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU to Monday for a hearing of the interlocutory application of the federal government. At the resumed sitting today, counsel to the federal government, Mr. James Igwe, asked the court to give the suit an accelerated hearing due to the urgency of the matter to enable the student to return to school. Mr. Igwe told the court that since the matter is already in court, it will be proper for the strike to be called off pending the determination of the suit. But Justice Polycarp Harman subsequently adjourned the suit to Monday next week. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has sealed off over 5 properties belonging to the Auditor General of Yobe Local Government Pensions Board, Mr. Yaya Ado, over suspected fraud allegation. Some of the properties sealed, according to findings by newsmen, include a massive estate of more than 20 flats behind the Sector 2 Operation Adenkai headquarters in Damaturu, the Fasawa Plaza along Gaswa Road, a shopping mall under construction, Damaturu, along Gubujua Road, a housing estate and another house close to the shopping mall, and another building at Nyanya Estate, all in Damaturu. There's no official statement yet from the EFCC on the allegations levied against Ado or the operation in Damaturu. But investigations showed that the Auditor General has been a guest at the Commission's office in Maiduguri at least for 3 times over suspected allegations of embezzlement and misappropriation of public funds. Reacting, the Auditor General described the EFCC action as an embarrassment. This is the news across the country, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Ile-Awiye, Okebale, Osogbo, Voice of the West. Now, our mid-news message. Nobody is a total failure if he dares to venture into something worthwhile. Our news today takes a look at the evolution and significance of wristwatches in the society. Let's now join Oluwakemi Adeleke for details.
Watches are portable timepiece used to measure time and intervals. Historically, watches were worn as decorative pendants or carried in the pockets. The first watch was made around the 1500s by Peter Hellin in Germany. In modern times, they are branded accessories most frequently worn on the wrist. At the beginning of the 18th century, watches were still considered to be primarily decorative objects because of their poor functionality. Individuals who could afford them typically wore pocket watches, while women's watches were traditionally more beautiful and visibly worn as a pendant. This era marked a period of technological advancements which brought about new types of springs that allowed for better accuracy and performance, and this advancement influenced the design and stylistic components of watches, which become much smaller. Although watches were traditionally used as jewelry items, the components of watches which become much smaller. Although watches were traditionally used as jewelry items, the 19th century saw the wristwatch become useful, practical devices designed to give the precise time. The emergence of the wristwatch has impacted significantly in the immediate society in several ways. That it helped individuals to keep to time, and as watches became more accurate, the people's obsession with knowing the time grew. Also, the significance of wristwatch on society reflects an individual's personality and lifestyle in the sense that the kind and make of wristwatch which an individual wears shows a person's wealth. Wristwatch also serve as a fashion statement for individuals in the society, for it brings about convenience and efficiency, which has helped grow and develop the society. It also serves as a source of investment. The phenomenon on which hand wristwatch is appropriate to be worn goes in concert with the general rule of thumb, which is to wear one's watch on one's non-dominant hand. In that case, a right-handed individual should wear the wristwatch on the left hand, while a left-handed individual should wear the wristwatch on the right hand. Wearing watch on the non-dominant hand means it is less likely to be cracked or broken when in use. Those will be safe from damages. OSBC Fashion News saw the opinion of Mr. Samuel, who viewed that the use of wristwatches with different styles and types have influenced people's fashion statements and people's consciousness of time.
Okay, wearing a wristwatch, very good kind of fashion, but we all know that without wearing a wristwatch, you don't know what the time is, and basically with time it has upgraded, and it's mixed into our fashion whereby different styles have been made so far. We should wear our wristwatch. I think should be our less dominant hand. Less dominant, it should just be like the opposite of our dominant hand, or the hands that we use on a regular basis. So basically, if you're using the left hand, you should wear a wristwatch on the right. So most people wear our wristwatch on the left because of our most dominant hand is our right hand.
Ms. Feromi Honahon was of the view that the use of wristwatches gives individuals a more sophisticated aura that improve their various fashion styles.
Like, let's say the use of wristwatch actually adds this kind of elegance to an outfit. Like, it makes an outfit outstanding. Like when you're putting on clothes and you actually finished it with using a wristwatch, it kind of adds it gives the person this kind of aura, this kind of sophisticated aura, like that.
Oluwakemi Adeleke for OSBC Fashion News.
The report on OSEC is now ready. Osun State Independent Electoral Commission (OSEC) has affirmed its readiness to conduct the October 15 local government election in accordance with the extant laws. Chairman of the Commission, Otumba Segun Oladiton, disclosed this after the closing of a 5-day training program for electoral officers and assistant electoral officers drawn from all the local government areas. He charged participants to showcase experience garnered from the training in conducting a free, fair, and acceptable election. Adeyemi Aboderi has the details.
Declaring the 5-day training program for electoral officers and assistant electoral officers were expected to make viable a credible, free, and acceptable local government elections come October 15 closed. Chairman Osun State Independent Electoral Commission Otumba Segun Oladiton told participants to demonstrate experience gained from the 5-day training program in assisting the Commission in ensuring a smooth and age-free election. The Commission chairman, who assured members of the public that with the completion of the training program, the Commission has taken another bold step towards enthronement of democratic governance at the local government level in the state, urged lovers of democracy and critical stakeholders to cooperate with the Commission in the conduct of the October 15 local government election, while also enjoining participating political parties to play by the rules.
If going to abide by any pronouncement of a court of competence, we are not going to. So, as the motto of the scout says, we prepare, we are fully prepared.
While appreciating consultants and facilitators for giving their best in imparting appropriate knowledge and skills into the participant to realize the Commission's goal of delivering an acceptable local government poll to the people of the state. Some of the participants, who includes Mr. Babatunde Olanriwaju, Mrs. Deborah Kolawole, and Opeyemi Lunge, told OSBC News that the training will go a long way in assisting them in delivering the set goals.
The structural arrangement of the training by the OSEC body, in fact, is second to none. Number one, they are very strict with all the participants, and they have made all the participants to understand the task ahead of us.
We have been able to be trained how to organize the election in our local governments. And the assistants that handled us throughout the week was doing very well. Dr. Omalege, we appreciate it.
We trained through the model of being a professional in disseminating our work. We have been given all the model operandi on how to work with great integrity to satisfy the electorate and also the candidates that want to come into the post of local government chairman or the council.
Certificates were thereafter issued to participants. Adeyemi Aboderi, OSBC News.
10 contestants to the stool of the Alaafin of Oyo have been shortlisted by the Oyomesi, who are the kingmakers in the town, to undergo further screening. The head of the Oyomesi, who doubles as the Bashono of Oyo, High Chief Yusuf Ayola, said this after all the 65 contestants had been interviewed. He stated that members of the Oyomesi will soon meet to deliberate on the next step, which is the IFA consultation. There is pandemonium in some areas close to the 2-division Nigerian Army at Udogbo in Ibadan as 2 persons were hit by stray bullets from the shooting range within the barracks. Report indicated that one of the victims, a 10-year-old boy identified as Daniel, and an elderly man popularly known as Baba Jerry, who were hit by the bullets, have been rushed to the hospital inside the barracks. Residents told newsmen that their buildings, especially roofs, had been damaged by a volley of bullets from the shooting range, while many of them stayed indoors in order to escape the flying bullets. The officer in charge of the information at 2 Division Nigerian Army, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Ekiocha, when contacted, said he was not aware but will call and get back. The Federal Capital Territory Police Command has uncovered a cannabis farm within the metropolis. The command has perfected necessary arrangement for the forwarding of exhibits and the suspected farmer of prohibited substances. The Commissioner of Police, while urging youth and the resident as a whole to eschew drug and prohibited substances related crimes, noted that the involvement in the production and the consumption of such substances is not just a crime against the law but also against oneself. He also reassured the good people of the territory of the command's unalloyed commitment to the sustenance of peace and the onward march against crime and criminality till it is brought to the barest minimum. According to the FCT police spokesman, DSP Josephine Adim, the 32-year-old resident of Kado Estate area of the city was arrested for being in possession of a commercial amount of leaves suspected to be cannabis sativa on September 7 in the afternoon. The chairman of the Osun State chapter of the All Progressives Congress APC, Prince Boyega Famodun, has felicitated the national secretary of the party, Senator Yolo Mishori, on his birthday anniversary. Prince Famodun, in a statement by his media advisor Kola Olabisi, stated that the political life of Senator Mishori is a worthy inspiration to the younger element in the society. The state APC chairman noted that the political steadfastness of the birthday boy has been his enviable political attribute, which has immensely been a blessing to the people of the state. He observed that as an illustrious son of Ilefe, Senator Mishori has been a veritable source of attraction to developmental projects to the ancient city, in particular in Osun State in general. Prince Famodun, who described Senator Mishori as a monumental blessing to his generation, said that there is no way the history of the state will be completed without dedicating a sensible portion of it to him. Another in the series of his efforts to make society better will take place tomorrow morning, showing the official investiture of Rotarian Tunde Adedokun as the 40th president of the Rotary Club of Osogbo. The ceremony, which will also climax the inauguration of the board of directors, will be an avenue to also announce different community projects to be started and completed by the Rotary Club of Osogbo. A statement by the chairman, Investiture Planning Committee, Rotarian Olayemi Faloye, reveals that the program, which holds at White Plain Hotel, Osogbo along Gbọ̀ngàn Osogbo Road, will hold under the chairmanship of Barrister Oluwaseun Alao, who will also be inducted as a Rotarian. Honorable Justice Yinka Folabi of the State High Court of Justice is the father of the day, while the royal host is the Alara of Ara, Oba Rotarian Olubayomi Dapo, with his counterpart, the Oloba of Oboke, Oba Adams Yusuf, as the royal father of the day. Mrs. Oluwafisayo Alao, who will also be inducted as a Rotarian, will be leading the entire women folk as the mother of the day. And now to sports. An Abuja High Court has put on hold the legal action challenging the September 30th elections into the board of the Nigerian Football Federation. And the Yemi Abodoni has more sports updates.
President Muhammadu Buhari has conferred national awards on 17 athletes and a gift of 200 million naira to medalists who represented the country at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, United Kingdom. Buhari made the announcement during the presidential reception for Team Nigeria to both World Athletics Championship in USA and Commonwealth Games. For the first time in the history of the country, 4 athletes were honored with the Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON. The athletes are Toby Amuson, Eze Brumi, Blessing Blessing Oborodudu and Fumilayo Folashade. The gold medalists who fell on Category A of the awards were also gifted 4.5 million naira each. In Category B, which also contained gold medalists with member of the Order of the Niger Awards, also received 4.5 million naira cash gift. They are Oduayo Adekoroye, Onyekwere Chioma, Goodness Nwashuku, Iyazi Njedika, Favor of Philly, Afolashade Lawal, and Mercy Genesis. Athletes who won silver fell on Category C and were honored with the Federal Republic Medal Class 1 with cash gift of 2.5 million naira. Category C consists of athletes with bronze medals who also received a cash gift of 2.5 million naira, while Category D, who are bronze medalists, were honored with the Republic Medal Class 2 with 1.5 million naira each. Meanwhile, an Abuja High Court may have aborted the September 38th elections into the board of the Nigerian Football Federation in a suit challenging the composition of the delegates for the election scheduled to hold in Benin City, Edo State by Aresin Jala and others. Justice Inyang Eko of the Federal High Court puts the NFF election on hold until the determination of the suit. The plaintiffs had approached the court demanding amendment to the NFF Statutes 2010 for equal representation for all the 5 statutory bodies making up the Nigerian Football Federation in terms of voting rights and representation on the NFF board, its Congress and standing committees. The court had earlier in the month of June adjourned other proceedings until the matter is put to an end. Justice Inyang Eko had yesterday ordered the NFF election to be put on hold and that parties should maintain status quo and adjourned further proceedings to the 31st of next month. In the meantime, Minister of Sport and Youth Development Sunday Dare has described the Nigerian Football League as being on its deathbed. This is even as it disclosed that the Nigerian Football Federation under Muhammadu Buhari's administration has received in excess of 15 billion naira. Speaking at the State House Ministerial Press Briefing in Abuja, that said the shutdown of the Abuja head office of the league management company was the government's last resort to salvage the country's football. It premised the decision on the alleged maladministration of the league. The federal government had dissolved the LMC as the recognized operator of the Nigerian Professional Football League on Friday. The Super Eagles players are expected to wear a new look in their new Nike-designed kit when they confront Algeria and Portugal in an international friendly games bid for September 27th and November 17th. Nigeria and Algeria will face off in a repeat of the African Cup of Nations 2019 semi-final fixtures slated for Oran in Algeria, while World Cup band Portugal tackles the Super Eagles in Lisbon. Kit brand Nike yesterday made public the Super Eagles home and away kits for 2022. Sport Update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Aboderi.
And to end the news across the country, here again at the major point. Commissioner for Information, Mrs. Funke Egbemonde, said the Ministry of Information and OSBC are obligated to continue to project the good image of government and let the people know what government is doing as the 2 government megaphones read out their plans of action for the coming year 2023 today. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has sealed off over 5 properties belonging to the Auditor General of Yobe Local Government Pensions Board, Mr. Yaya Ado, on alleged fraud allegation. Fashion news today focused on evolution and significance of wristwatches. And there is pandemonium in some areas close to the 2-division Nigerian Army at Odogbo in Ibadan as 2 persons were hit by straying bullets from the shooting range within the barracks. And that was the news across the country, edited by Ulushola Egbodofo. And for more about us, can visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.